I was listening to a podcast once, and the best advice I got from it was they were telling me, like, a lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, you just want more and more and more because you're so hungry. But they say to perfect one thing at a time.
I've been looking into dermaplaning because I want to stop wearing foundation and makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to go more natural route, but I still want to get stuff done to look good, you know?
Yeah. So I think the best thing for your skin would be, dermaplaning would be good to take off all like the dead skin. It actually takes off up to 2 to 3 weeks of your dead skin.
Oh, wow.
So it's really cool. And it takes, the main purpose why a lot of women or even men go for it is those vella hairs. And it just exfoliates the skin, of course. But I also think doing like a good peel would be good for you.
Okay.
Like a good peel to take off all your dead skin with little mini breakouts and stuff, just to kind of like clear it up, and then doing dermaplaning after that.
Yeah.
You'd like that.
And I've never gotten any of that done. So now I'm like, okay, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Now I can like invest into myself because it's so important.
Yeah, it is. Even me, like me owning Kumi, like I don't do as much stuff as I should. So I'm always like, so actually tomorrow, that's why when you guys wanted to, I was like, I've got some stuff I'm doing, and so I'm not gonna be able to see anyone for a week.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I'm actually gonna be doing Kybella, which is a treatment that dissolves the fat under your chin.
Oh, they have
so I want you, they do that, yeah. So I'm gonna try it out. I mean, it's something I've wanted to do, and we offer it. So I feel like me posting it and showing that I do this stuff and making it okay is like, is gonna be really good, and I can talk about it with clients because I get asked about it all the time.
Yeah.
And then I also am going to be doing just some body contouring treatments.
I was looking at that.
Yeah, so I want to start advertising those more and going into detail about what they are. So
I'm really interested. I was telling her, I was like, would it make me lazy if I do the ab sculpting? Go for it.
No, not at all. I think, you know, a lot of the laser treatments, especially for body contouring that we do, the energy is focused on those spots. So I have women, for example, that are older, and they'll try everything to lose weight, and it can be hormonal and just different factors, especially in women, as to why they can't achieve the goals that they want. So with the focused energy at targeting that area, they're going to see the results faster. So they're a lot happier and more motivated with their journey. So it really helps you feel better.
It's really empowering too. A lot of people think like lesser of cosmetic procedures, but they don't realize how much of a difference it makes in your everyday life. Like when they say invest in yourself
too.
Yeah. Or I think it has everything to do whenever the way you act.
Yeah.
And you go about your day, it just
makes
it overall better.
That's why I think I loved why I got into this industry is because like I started off actually working with little girls, so I would do like birthday parties for little girls.
And I remember I was telling her, I was like, my sister worked at Sweet and Sassy, and
way!
that's how I met her the first time.
Yes, who was your sister?
Leslie. She worked there for a little bit, and I was like, the first time I ever heard about her was because she was my sister's manager.
Oh my god, I was like a manager in high school.
Oh my gosh, so you were boss since day one.
I was a boss at 16.
They were like, we want her as the manager.
I was
That's
always
amazing.
number one in sales. I remember like working with all the girls, like I took it so seriously. Like a lot of my friends, they'll look back and make fun of me, like, remember how serious you were at that job? And I was like, I just knew I wanted to own a business one day. So I've known since I was 16 that like owning a business is something that I've always wanted to do.
And I think it's something you carry with you when you know you have the leadership skills and you develop them over time. It's not something you can just ignore.
Yeah, I took a lot from it. And then you're right too, like it's not something you can ignore. So every job that I ever worked at, like I took those skills with me, and it just naturally I like would fix situations or take control or would think 10 steps ahead. So it really just always kind of came natural to me. So yeah.
That's super cool. You that at such a young age, and I guess have applied that throughout now. So I guess you said that's something that you always wanted to do. Other things that you ventured in, how did you decide this was the industry you wanted to do?
So I actually, with Medspa, so when I worked at Sweet and Sassy, which was like the birthday party place for little girls, after I got out of that, I was like, okay, I want to do something that's a little bit more mature. What would be like the Sweet and Sassy for adults? So I was like, let me start working with women. So I worked at like I was like, I want, so because I just love people and I love girly things. Like growing up, the carpet in my room was pink, like the walls in my room were pink. So like I'm just such a girly girl. So I was like, okay, like I can't see myself doing anything else but spa industry, you know. So I got a job at a day spa, and then from there I was like, okay, I want to work at a med spa for a plastic surgeon, and a lot of those places required experience, and so I kind of got my foot in the door somewhere, and then it just turned into a whole career for me.
Was it the nail salon, and then you set up there?
So that's was later. So I actually we could, I think now that thank you guys so much for coming in with your masks on. I really appreciate it. Because of social distancing and all the COVID compliance orders that we have to follow, it's really important that we're protecting ourselves. But our last client is gone for the day, and we're pretty much a good distance.
Yes.
So we can definitely go forward from here. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So with Kumi, so basically I got a job at a med spa, and I started working there, and they sent me to laser school. So they're like, oh, we're going to send you to laser school. And I was like, I don't want to go to laser school. I was like, I want to be the manager. Like, I wanted to do management and sales and front desk. That's what I was good at. And so I was like, fine, I'll take this class. And you know, after I did that, the company I was working for just wasn't really the place I wanted to be at anymore. I was young, 21 years old. I was like, let me see what other jobs are out there. And I found a job at another spa, and it was just nothing but laser. So it challenged me because they kind of threw me in the room, and it wasn't obviously like the path I wanted to go down.
Oh, okay.
But I was number one in sales in the company. So through time, then the owner of the place opened up another office and asked me to run it. So that's where a lot of my experience, like running a business from the ground up, came from. Yeah, I'm forever grateful for that job because it taught me so much. I was in so many situations that I had to like figure it out, sink or swim, Crystal. So yeah, it laid down the groundwork. But at the end of the day, I don't think I knew how to own a business until I started Kumi. So it's different managing than owning, because I mean, I have so much more respect for anyone I've ever worked for now that I'm on the other side of things, because it's a lot of responsibility. But I ended up leaving that job after a couple of years, and decided to try doing my own thing. So I rented out a room at the nail salon next door. Got a little room, a laser, and did everything I needed to do. I have a doctor that I partnered with, and that's how Kumi started. So started off in the nail salon, and then within a couple months we outgrew our space and we took over what this used to be an eye clinic. So so luckily the rooms in the back, as you can see, they were already built out. It was these 3 walls that we built, and then everything in here is like from IKEA, Home Goods, like this chair's from Ross. The chairs you're sitting on are from Ross. And I just was like, okay, we got to do this. I didn't have the money to like just build out something, so it was like little by little. A lot of my original clients that followed me from the nail salon, they saw Kumi get built,
grow.
So grow.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
So it's a great journey, and I think that's what makes this business more unique. There's a lot of heart into it. You know?
You can tell whenever the intention is there. It comes off differently.
How did you go about so I would say you have a brand with this, like the colorful, girly colors. Like, was that always your vision for it?
So I don't even know how it kind of came out. This color scheme that I have, I've always kind of liked, but I think a lot of med spas for a long time were like, they were so like clinical and office like.
Doctor's office.
Yeah, like, so we do a procedure called mirror dry, and it permanently reduces the hair, sweat, and odor under your arms. It's so awesome. And mirror dry actually always tells us, like, you made it cool, Crystal. Like, how did you do that? Like, you're so good at the social media, and people, like, they'll go to other derms offices and they're like, oh, that's that treatment Kumi has. And it's because we made it fun on Instagram. And so I think when I did this, I wanted to really make it a lot more comfortable for people who are embarrassed of certain things. Like, who wants to do a treatment for their underarm or even say that they did it? But to be like, oh my God, I did mirror dry. Like, it just feels like of something you would want to try. So that was my goal, to make Kumi kind of like Instagrammable and just really, you know.
So your forte is also social media marketing, right?
Yeah.
You have also the branding, I see, and then you're mixing it in with your own business, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I love Instagram. It's exhausting because it's its own job.
It is.
On its own. So there's a lot of days in here where I feel like I could get more content and do more, but it's hard, like, running it here and then doing Instagram. And I'm really hands-on with everything that I do.
Would you consider being like an influencer, kind of like Dr. Miami, that kind of thing?
I've thought about it, because I feel like I potentially could go in that direction. Like, especially in business, like giving business advice.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people like that when they follow me, they even give me their input on things, and I really, really like appreciate it. But I don't know. It's hard because I'll get really good engagement, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want to. It's a lot. But
it is a lot.
It's a lot of work. And you have to keep up with it. Like,
yeah, you
all
do.
The time. Yeah.
You do. And some of my good friends, especially through Kumi, we become friends, and they're influencers on Instagram, and they have regular day jobs and stuff too. But to see the way they post, and one of my best friends, she lives in LA. She's an influencer. Like, that is her career. Job. Yeah, and I just see so much that goes into it, and I'm just like, I can't keep up. Like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you need to hire a team and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think we do good getting by. I eventually, when I started Kumi, I put my face in front of the business. And now that I think I'm a little bit older and I've got other projects and stuff going on, I kind of want to grow Kumi's Instagram more than I do my personal. I think anything personal I do will be later. Yeah, after I get more experience too, because I don't know everything.
Yeah. You mentioned that, and I saw on your Instagram that the sign out there was the finishing touch for the business.
Yes.
When did you know that you were at the point where it was like, okay, it's time to invest in a sign?
Oh my gosh. So you think the first sign is the first thing that you should put up, first of all. Like, any business owner is going to say a sign without a business is a sign of no business. But I don't know how we were so busy without a sign. So we didn't have a sign for a year. I couldn't afford it. It was like almost $10,000.
Yeah,
and then
they're expensive.
They're so expensive. You can get them down to like 7 or 6, but it was super expensive. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on getting people in the door and finishing little things that I want to do inside the clinic. And since I didn't start this the right way, that's going to be my cherry on top. Is like, once I get the furniture, the place the way I like it, and I wanted to do some switching around with some of the rooms in the back, I was like, the sign will be like the finishing touch. Like, okay.
That's so cool.
You made it.
And what do you mean by it wasn't started the right way?
I think, maybe it wasn't started with like an exact plan.
Okay.
So I think a lot of times, and I do recommend when you start a business to have a plan, like a game plan. I was 23 years old and very, very ambitious. And so I was like, I'm just going to go for it. I don't want another year, another day to go by that I don't follow what I want to do. I'm young. I'm not married. I don't have kids. Go for it, Crystal. So I just winged it, but I was like, let's just see where this goes. So as it happened, it was like different things happen. There's
along
really,
the way.
Yeah, there's really no way I could have stuck to a plan in my situation. But to do this again, there's definitely going to be a plan.
Yeah, I recognize in you that, and I recognize that in myself too, that I'm very impulsive with any business or big decisions in my life. I'm like, okay, it feels good. I'm going to do it, and it's going to work out. Yeah,
those are the best decisions, actually, that I've ever made. I was talking to my boyfriend about it today because he just got like an opportunity to go somewhere and cook. He's a chef, and it just kind of like sprung on us. And I was like, the best decision I ever made was with Kumi, because I was like, I make a lot of decisions without thinking about them. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, but that's how Kumi was born. So this is gonna be great for you. So, like,
and you feel it. Your intuition always kicks in, and it always works out. It's amazing.
Intuition is everything. Manifestation too. Like, I feel like I literally manifested Kumi.
Yeah.
Like, I spoke it into existence at 16, 23. I was like, when I'm 23, I'm gonna own a business, and
that's crazy. That's so crazy. Not a lot of people can say that, and it's refreshing to meet another woman entrepreneur that's also like been very successful. Yeah.
We're so excited to come talk to you because we were saying there's so many men out there. Not that there is not women, but when you meet another woman inspiring to be like what you want to be, that's so strong. It's like so exciting and refreshing to meet someone.
Thank you. It's been a journey. I feel like being young, for sure, and being a woman, you have to work 20 times harder. Yes. Like, even when I managed the clinic previously, I'm in front of grown men with like their careers and negotiating deals, and like I have to work harder and present myself a lot differently because of that. It's sad, but it's true. I had to work really hard still to this day.
And why did you choose Houston or Katy specifically? Would you move it?
So Katy was because I was already in the area, and I think I just kind of knew the market. Houston was just more competitive and a little bit more scarier for me, because I felt like maybe if I focused in one little area and tested it out there, it was just safer. But I absolutely want to move to Houston.
Houston? So is that the next step for you?
Yeah, the next step is definitely an office in Houston, because we have clients that come from all over, and I feel like Houston's going to make it a lot easier for them.
Centralized.
Yeah. So there's a couple things I have to do first, but once those things are done, I definitely want to expand to Houston and go from there.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So the concept of tough luck is that life doesn't just hand things to you. So what are some things along the way that you had to kind of toughen up and figure out?
That's a great question. What did I have to toughen up? Oh my God, my whole life. I had to grow up really quickly. Being a boss, I think you're responsible too for your employees. So you have to set a good example, and we're all human. I've made mistakes as a business owner and as a boss, but the best thing you can do is learn from them. So I think being young and on social media, we can go back to that. That's kind of why I stepped away from social media a lot, is I can't be super personal on there like I always want to, because I have staff. So I have to set an example for them, and even clients too, you know. I have older women that might like what we might think is fun and okay, you know, someone in her 40s who sees me out and about or whatever, she might not feel comfortable going to that kind of business. So I have to be really careful about how I present myself online. So I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges is, like I said, you have to work a lot harder and present yourself.
To prove yourself,
to every person, because everyone can be a potential customer or client of yours. So
I saw your post about the lip fillers saying, do we write those off as business expense? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Uncle Sam, is that the guy who takes it now?
He told me.
He told me himself on Instagram.
It's so funny. Yeah, I'm writing mine off. I just got mine done last month.
No, it's definitely, being in this industry, you have to look good, right? So
for sure.
I have to make sure I'm always on point somehow.
How do you do that to keep on top of maybe like all the different trends that are always coming up? Because this is like the beauty industry, something that's always evolving.
Absolutely. I feel like I always get asked about different things. Research is definitely really important, especially in the industry I'm in. I'm not just a day spa. I have medical guidelines that I have to follow, so I can't just bring anything in that's on fire or really popular in the moment. I have to really sit back and think, okay, is this smart to bring in? Is it safe? Can my staff perform this type of procedure? Are they comfortable performing something like this? So there's a lot that goes into it before I bring something into the office. But there's been times where I brought certain procedures in that I know are safe, and I'll test them out just to see if it's something that my clientele would grab onto. But where we do really well is with laser. So,
okay, is that like your main? Okay,
laser is like number one. I mean, we're super booked with laser, so that's something I want to focus on more in the future.
I saw on Instagram you said you were overbooked.
Yeah, we are overbooked right now. Even at one point we've been pretty booked for a long time, but right now we can only be open at a certain capacity, and I don't want to have too many people in here for everyone's safety. So I have a lot of people that are upset that they can't get in, or our phones are always ringing. It's difficult to get in contact with us. So we're doing our best and doing everything we can to make that process a lot smoother, so that people can get in the doors. So
we saw on your Instagram that you were a part of New York Fashion Week.
That was like a dream come true, honestly. It was so much fun. I went to New York. We have a makeup line that we carry in Kumi. I'm actually waiting for all their new products to come in, but it's called Chanteria Cosmetica. It's from Mexico, and it's a woman-led company. So my friend Anya, hi Anya, if you're watching this, her sister is the founder of the company. And she's actually, Anya's an influencer in Houston. So she connected it, brought the product into the clinic, and we sold it, and women love it. Like, I wasn't sure how I would mix makeup and med spa, but it was nice. And then because it's from Mexico, my family's from Mexico, so I was like, I definitely have to support this. So
I'm wanting to. We had a Spanish section, but I didn't continue it just because Corona happened and we got busy. But I want to have more like Mexican people. I'm from Mexico too, and so it's been really Where's your family from?
So my dad's family is from Torreon, Coahuila.
No way. I'm from Torreon.
No,
I was born there.
It's so rare to meet people that are from there. You were born there?
Yeah,
that's
I've
so
never
awesome.
met anyone else.
I know people never know where that is, but I say it all the time, just loud and proud, like Torreon, Coahuila.
Yeah, La Laguna.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Awesome.
And then my mom's family is actually from Honduras.
Okay.
So some half Honduran, half Mexican, and then like their family is like Spaniard and Italian. We have a lot of Italian in us, so that's why I'm like kind of suspect. Like, what is she? That's so
cool.
awesome that you're from there.
Never met anyone. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What about the curbside pop-up that you guys did?
Oh, that was fun. So one of my good friends, her name is Lucero. She owns Sleek Society Salon in Houston. She's an amazing hairstylist. Wow. We became good friends because of hair. A lot of my friends would go to her, and she's really popular on Instagram actually. So I went in, and her and I hit it off. Like, she was actually starting her business at the same time I was, so we had a lot in common.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she got me from like dark hair. Well, actually, I was kind of orange at the time, but she got me from like orange, like a beautiful blonde. I was blonde for a while, and then I finally just decided to go brown again. I wanted to be my natural roots. I feel like I'm just like more business and brown. So, but blonde was fun. I had too much fun.
Blondes have more fun.
Blondes are Do you think blondes are more fun?
I was dark now,
You're like, you're so. I don't even know how your hair can do that to you, but when I'm blonde, I'm definitely just.
It's a different person.
Yeah, I was on a plane to LA every weekend. I don't know what I thought I was. But yeah, I definitely needed to take a seat, so we're brown again.
You said calm down.
Yeah, so Crystal needs to calm down.
Tone it down.
Yeah. That's funny. And what do you have going on in the next, I guess, what do we all have going on in the next 6 months? Oh wait, the curbside pop-up.
Yeah,
it was like it was like products kind of showcase kind of thing.
Yeah, so we were just, when Corona happened, at first I was depressed. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, I think everyone went through that little bit of like a depression. What's going to happen? There was so much uncertainty. After a couple days, I just couldn't do it anymore. So like started to get into a new routine. I accepted the fact that I probably needed this downtime to restructure things and regroup. And then it got to a point where I was like, I would think of ways to make money. And then I was like, oh, wait, you can't see people, you can't touch people, you can't do this or that. So the curbside, once they announced curbside, I was like, well, maybe we could do that. Like, do curbside, like, products. I'm sure people want to restock. And so we did it at her salon, and it was so much fun. I just came in to Kumi and put all my skincare products in a basket and took it out there. And I was doing consultations, and I actually sold a lot of inventory. It was really awesome.
That's
I was
awesome.
surprised. And I think it was great, like, marketing and business and just us coming together as businesses to support each other, because it was a really rough time for everyone. You know, like I said, that uncertainty is crazy and it's scary.
Yeah, and even now we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think we're a little bit more prepared
this time. It's nerve-wracking because from what I understand, they're thinking about shutting everything down again, or like limiting things. And I actually am all for it, even as a business owner. I think that it should have stayed that way a little bit longer. Personally, I see why they did it, but I don't know. I think that if we do have to downsize a little bit, it's for everyone's safety at the end of the day. So I'm okay with it. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah.
Like, more fun questions. What is your favorite vacation spot?
So if you look at my Instagram, I'm always in LA, Los Angeles. I love going there. It's been like my getaway. So my best friend actually is from Houston, and she just packed up her stuff one day and went out there and followed her dreams. I love her so much. And so then I was like, one day, just starting a business. I think it was like my first couple months in, and I just was so stressed out, and I never really traveled before. So I literally one day just got a ticket, hopped on the plane. I had no suitcase with me or anything, and I met her up out there, and she showed me LA in like 24 hours. I mean, every spot you can think of to travel, like the travel places, I've seen it all, because we just hopped in the car and drove around for hours, and it was just it's really therapeutic for me. So like going to Santa Monica and being on the beach and just relaxing. And every time I travel, especially when I go to the beach, I always take a journal with me, and I write down all the things that I want to do when I come back. So I always come back more refreshed and more like, okay, I got a fresh one. So I love some of my best ideas have come from running away to LA.
You do make impulsive decisions.
The queen of them. That's not the first time I've just hopped on a plane. I've probably done it 2 or 3 times, but there are consequences, financial consequences when you do that.
I signed my apartment lease like the day I went to see the apartment. I was like, I'm doing it. This is the one. And like you're stuck with it for a year, and it's like,
but I've done that. I actually did that with my car. It was like my dream car. It was probably more than I probably could have afforded at the time, but I was like, you know what? If you're stuck on this and you have that responsibility, now you just need to work harder. So
that's what I was thinking. I was like, just means I need to make 3 times more.
Now you gotta work
always-
harder, girl. You have no choice.
Where do you get that from, your work ethic?
My work ethic, I think both of my parents, I really think in a way I get it from my mom because she's really bossy. Like growing up, she's just kind of like always in charge. My dad's really disciplined. He works really hard. He provides for the family. But they both are really conservative. So me like just deciding to do this and like stopping school to start a business, they thought that I was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, mommy, puppy.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Being Hispanic parents, like they wanted me to, I'm the first like cousin. I was the first born, like I'm the first for everything in the family. So it was really important that I set that example. And yeah, I mean, they still tell me I should still go back to school. That's another conversation. But my whole family's really proud of me, and they think it's amazing. Even my family in Mexico, they're always like, oh my God, what is she doing over there? And it means a lot to me because this isn't easy. So it felt like it was really scary because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I always figured you can always go back to school.
Yeah.
It does get harder, but I wanted this. I felt this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So
Your intuition.
yeah.
And it's crazy also, or not crazy, but us as kids of immigrants also, they're never going to understand that we don't really have that American dream role model to look at.
Yeah.
And my mom, like we came over here and now it's kind of foreign for me not to go to college either because I didn't go at all. And now even though they're proud of me, they're like, so school.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
And I think on the flip side, your parents they know the struggles that they went through being in that situation and not having the same advantages as we do. So in their eyes, they just want us to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's not for everyone, you know?
Not. And even my mom was telling me yesterday, I finished school, but then I chose to do something else. So, I mean, there's that. And she was like, Mika, school's always gonna be there. And I was like, who is this? Yeah. She was like, yeah, I just noticed, like, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. And I was like, okay, I'll take it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was, I think that's just the thing. My parents, my mom especially, really wanted me to focus on school. She's like, an education is something no one can take away from you. And
That's true.
I feel like I understand that and I respect that. And I definitely want to go back. I actually want to go back for some other things that I want to do in the future. I'm going to need it.
What is it?
I can't say. Not yet. I'm still sorting it all out. So I don't want to speak until it's there. Yeah,
Okay,
but
I feel you.
some of the things that I've been thinking about doing, they do require me to have like a bachelor's degree. And so I'm like, oh God, I guess I gotta go back to school. But luckily, everything that, like, because I'm in school for business and marketing. So everything that I'm in school for, I already do on a daily basis. So it would pretty much be, I'm hoping it would be a piece of cake, just applying what I do now in school.
I love that. Once you reach your goals, there's always going to be more.
Yeah.
And you have to be hungry, and you are hungry, and that's awesome. I love it.
Thank you. I was listening to a podcast once, and the best advice I got from it was they were telling me, like, a lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, you just want more and more and more because you're so hungry.
It never
But
stops.
they say to perfect one thing at a time. Because then you have so many different things you're jumping into, and then you're overworked or you're overwhelmed. And I actually did that when I took part of the nail salon. It was like, whoa, I know I can do it, but it was a lot. It was another brick and mortar. So I decided I was like, I love this opportunity, but I think I'm going to...
Not right now.
Not right now, yeah. That's something I want to do right now. I really want to focus on Kumi. And so that was a big lesson for me as a business owner. So yeah, I'm proud of those lessons. Though some people would look at them as failures, like, oh, well, you didn't get it the way you wanted it to. But I took a lot from that personally, and when the time's right, I'll do other things.
Yeah,
with that,
definitely.
So,
You have to know your strengths and also be patient with yourself.
patience is key.